Today, I would like to talk to you about how do we love unconditionally. I guess the first thing we need to do is separate self from the spirit, or at least put self in the back seat and let our spirit be in the driver's seat. How do we distinguish what is self and what is spirit? Well, first, self is the flesh. It's the analytical mind. It's the one that's tempted by temptations. It gets jealous of others. It envies. It's full of pride. It wants to be in control. Whereas the spirit is in union with God's will. It's where we can completely surrender ourselves to God's will. When we are able to identify the self, we can place it aside and open ourselves to the teachings of what Jesus Christ had taught us and what all of the great saints in the past, present, and prophets have tried to express in human terms God's will. We will see that it's in alignment completely because our spirit knows what is God's will. We just have to surrender ourselves to it. How do we reach there? Let me put that on the back burner for now. For now, let's focus on how do we love unconditionally. When we see with our analytical mind as a passenger witnessing the road trip, we get to enjoy the scenery that our minds, ourself, do not witness when we're behind the driver's seat, trying to be in control of everything in our passings. And by being in the passenger seat and allowing our spirit to do God's will, we get to enjoy all of God's creations. The trees, sounds of the birds, the grass, flowers. We get to stop and smell the beautiful fragrances of these beautiful flowers that I get to witness here. And we get to see how we're connected with everything, because the same life force that lives through the creation of God we too, being creations of God, can see how we connect with that beautiful canvas, that painting, the artistry, if there's such a word. We get to love it all, not because we should, not because we're told to, not because we're forced to, but just because. We get to enjoy the presence, the creation, the beauty of God's creation, even with those who we do not see eye to eye with our analytical minds, but our spirit sees deeper in the other person. Now, we don't have to like what they do. Their analytical minds is telling them to do wrong things, to hurt others, to hurt ourselves. But when we're able to look through all of those mistakes and the actions of others, we can see the creation of God in them, yearning to come out, to take control of their seat, if they are willing to allow it, to let God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven, as it is on all the universe. We have the free will to choose our will, the self-will, or God's will, which communicates through our spirit. We get to enjoy others. We get to love others. Not necessarily like. The like, I would say, is like ourselves liking what the other person's misappropriation of the gifts that God has given them. But we get to love them, for they too are creations of God. So, what does this mean? Do we allow ourselves to be floor mats? Do we allow ourselves to be a lightning rod of all the turmoil of society and the community and others who wish to only hurt others and destroy others for their own selfish gains? No. But we are called to be beacons. We are called to shine God's light to others, to show others the path, the way. And who is the way? Jesus, Yeshua, the Son of God. We are called to show others God through our actions. Similar as the way the moon reflects the light of the sun. It does not shine light of its own, but it is a creation of God, and it has the ability to reflect the light for others to enjoy and to marvel at. So too, we are called to do the same, to reflect God's love, to reflect God's light, so that others can marvel on His love, His light. I think I'll leave it at that as well. All the love. God bless.